For this recipe, you need ground beef, soy sauce, green onions, ginger, water chestnuts, and of course wonton wrappers.
Hey everybody, it's me, Tanya. Anyway, I decided I was going to show you guys, whether you didn't know if you wanted to know or not, doesn't matter to me. Anyway, I was going to show you guys how I make my wontons that I make for my daughter. She has liked them since she was 2 years old, and so I figured I'd show you guys how I make them. Now I have substituted chicken and pork, and I've also done a total veggie one before too, but this time my daughter doesn't care for the veggie one because she's not a veggie person really, but this is what I usually use to make hers, which is lean ground beef. So I'm going to show you guys. This here is lean ground beef, and it is 2 pounds of ground beef, and I'm going to take this ground beef and I'm going to put it, I've got a great big silver bowl here, and I just drop it in that bowl. You guys need to see here, see, ground beef in the silver bowl. Anyway, and I'll take this and I throw it away. Anyway, the next ingredient that you need for these wontons, and it's like I said, they're very, very simple, is these are water chestnuts. I buy these water chestnuts at my local grocery store, and it's really yummy, and I really like them in salads too. Also, one thing that wasn't in the picture, I forgot to show you, I buy these. I buy these wonton wraps here because they're a little bit simpler, since I'm still trying to learn how to make my own wrappers by hand that will be gluten-free and not with wheat. But anyway, you want to take, with 2 pounds of meat, I'm going to finely chop these water chestnuts up. I'm actually going to do it the easy way. I was going to use this knife. It's one of my Miracle Blades. I'm not going to use that today. I'm going to use this today. This is what I have. It's a smart chopper. It's got blades here and everything, and all you do is you grab a bunch of your water chestnuts here, because this will make it so much easier and so much quicker to do. You just, a good handful, put them inside the chopper, and I will show you guys in just a minute what it looks like chopping. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and chop these now. And there you have the finished product. Finely chopped. And that's about as much as I usually put in for 1 pound of beef. Well, almost 2 pounds, yeah. Actually, that's for about 1 pound of my wonton mix. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take about another handful of them, or half a handful of the sliced water chestnuts that I have here, and I'm going to chop those up too. Okay everybody, I chopped up those, and here I've got a bunch. There's about 6 green onions here. I don't believe I need that many, because if you see, look how huge these are. So I'm just going to only use probably about 4 of them. I'll just use about 4 of these, and you want to take these, of course, chop off the tops. Discard those. You want to clean these off. Make sure they're all nice and clean. Take off this rubber band. I'm going to clean these off real quick. Okay, you got these, see? Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop these up as small as you can. I've got a really small cutting board here, unfortunately. I'm going to chop these up as good as I can. Now I know a lot of you are probably saying, whoo, that's a lot of hanging time. But that's a lot of meat. And it gives it great flavor. Now I'm going to just take these and pour them in the bowl. Okay, as you can see, I've got the meat. This is my water chestnuts and my chopped green onions. There's about, I'm going to say, for 2 pounds of meat, that's about a cup of green onions chopped. Maybe a cup and a half. Next, I've got this, which is ground ginger. I like my ginger, so I'm going to put roughly about a tablespoon. You know, it's not totally, you know, it's about roughly about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit under, you know, but I don't totally level it, but yeah, it's roughly about a tablespoon. You can use a little bit less if you don't like ginger, but I like ginger and I like the ginger flavor. I like ginger, I like my garlic. I usually put garlic in this, but I usually put like maybe half a teaspoon of garlic, fresh garlic in it. And then next, I've got this. Got gluten-free, reduced sodium soy sauce that I add. It's going to take a lot. So there's 1 tablespoon, 2, that's roughly about 6 tablespoons of soy sauce. And of course, the bottle's empty now because we like our soy sauce. And we have to have gluten-free soy sauce because my daughter is gluten intolerant and I have celiac. So that is basically all the ingredients. That's it, which is pretty simple. You got to tell me that's pretty simple. Now all you got to do is mix it all together with your hands. Get in there, nitty gritty. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, mix all the ingredients together really good. Make sure everything gets incorporated. So I'm just going to mix this up.
Just so you know, I think this is the best part, getting down nitty-gritty with your hands cooking.
Okay, when you have this pretty well mixed up, you know, you can tell if, you know, it's pretty incorporated. Yes, there are some of the stuff on the side, but when I go to make the wontons, it will be okay. Now, I'm going to take this and let it sit, cover it with plastic wrap, and let it sit in the fridge for about 20 to 30 minutes to where the flavors can mix together. And we'll be right back in a jiffy. Hey everybody, well, it's been about 30 minutes. As you can tell, it's not the big silver bowl. After I got done mixing it, I decided to transfer it into this smaller glass bowl. It's been wrapped with plastic wrap. It's been in the fridge for about 30 minutes. And I am going to unwrap this. And as you can see, everything's all well mixed together and everything else. And I have my wonton wrappers here. And then I also have a dish here, just of regular water. And then I also have a pan, a cookie sheet over here. Let me show you. I have a cookie sheet over here. And that cookie sheet, I'm going to put the wontons after I folded them up. And then I'm going to stick them in the freezer because that way they stay cold. And these you can freeze, but you need to have them, you know, a good space between each other. You can put them on a plate, put them on a cookie sheet with some parchment paper, which is what I have. Or you can use wax paper. I use parchment paper. And I stick them in the freezer until they've gotten hard, almost completely frozen. And then I put them in little baggies and keep them in the freezer. And whenever I need a snack or my daughter gets hungry, she can take them out and we put them in the deep fryer and cook them. So let's start. Like I said, I've got these wonton wrappers here. I've got this little basting brush that I got, and I use that to put the water on and stuff. So here we go. Take the wonton wrap, set it on the plate. You sit there and get almost a teaspoonful of meat. I mean, like I said, these are really simple to make. Take your thing. You can take your fingers too. Put water out around the edges. Take it like this. Seal up the edges like that. So you seal them up like that. Then what I do is I take them and I kind of just fold the edges into each other. This is where I usually just take my finger and I'll sit there and I'll wet the edge a little bit and cross it over there like that. It doesn't matter if there's a little bit of meat squished out on the side, but you want the edges pretty much all sealed up like this, because when you have them all sealed up and you go to deep fry them, they will, the juices will stay inside, and that's what makes them really, really juicy. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a bunch of these, and we'll go from there. Okay, y'all. Sometimes you have this happen. It splits. Now when it does that, I don't like to waste a wrapper. And so I'll just take another wrapper and I'll make sure this is folded. And I will just sit here and fold this up. And kind of make it more like it's a double wrapped. And it's not going to be perfect because of the way it is. So don't get all frustrated if it's not. And sometimes I do make weird shapes, but it's sealed up at least this way. And you don't waste a wonton wrapper. So that's another reason why you should try not to put too much meat in these, because it will make it to where it's hard to where it doesn't close up all the way. And so yeah. And as you saw before, I've used my fingers. It just all depends on what you feel like doing. Okay, everybody, as you can tell, this tray is almost practically full of pre-made wontons. They are ready to be put in the freezer. I usually put them in the freezer for, like I said, maybe half an hour to an hour, because then they start to get, pretty frozen. If you're going to make your wontons right away and cook them right away, then you don't have to put them in the freezer, but it's best to put them in the fridge because it is meat. So, anyway, as you can tell, they're different sizes. Some of them are different shapes. I mean, you can pretty much have some fun with them if you wanted to. But like I said, and I've still got tons of meat left. I've got wrappers left. So I'm going to make some more, and then we'll try them out a little bit later. Hey everybody, these were in the freezer. I don't know if you can really tell, but you kind of can tell that they are a lot more white, and you can tell that they are frozen. Usually after I've frozen these, what I will do, sometimes they do stick together like these have done. If they've stuck together, then I just put them in a bag together. I don't try to pull them apart, because the simple fact is that if you try to pull them apart and they're stuck together, then it'll ruin them. But These are the frozen ones. I'm going to bag them up, and then I will show you some that I've got in the fridge that are ready to be deep fried. I have now the oil heating up. I didn't put very much in here because I'm only going to fry a few of them right now. But here it's set be about 350 degrees. And it's starting to bubble. Make a little noise because I dropped a little bit of water in it. I know you're not supposed to do that. But here I've got the wontons, and I'm going to go ahead and put those in, like so. And those will slowly cook. And it usually only takes about, I don't know, maybe about 3 to 5 minutes, I would say, for it to, you know, totally get golden brown and a nice color on it. And these are actually really, really good, and so they're good for a quick snack or whatever. And we'll show them to you when they're done. Okay, it looks like they're just about ready to take out. Waiting for it to focus. See how they're getting to be a golden brown color? That's pretty much, you know, when they're done. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll get those taken out. Whoops. Alright, we're going to get these taken out here. And I've got a plate here to dry them on with a paper towel. One, two, three. Okay. You can see, I know they look a little dark. They're a little bit dark, but usually you want them to be a golden brown, but I let them cook just for a little bit longer. And they're really, really good and yummy. Serve these with a dipping sauce that you might like or whatnot. I didn't make any dipping sauce this time, so I'm going to go ahead and take a bite. Ooh, it's really hot though. Okay, let's try to take a bite here. Here we go. Okay, we're going to take a bite. Oh! Okay, everybody. Really, really juicy. Burnt my mouth. Wow. Ouch. That hurt. Yeah, I burnt my mouth a little bit. But anyway, this is what it looks like on the inside. The meat's cooked all the way through. As you can tell right there from the splotch, this is juice that came out. It's really, really juicy and really good. Anyway, I know it's not really much of a cooking demonstration, but maybe you guys can try it out. It's really good and it's very addictive. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!